Good morning, good evening to all of you. A very warm welcome. So I hope you're all geared up. I am certainly geared up. I'm in my game attire today. Okay, this is the same jersey I had worn when India had won the World Cup. So I thought I'll bring it to the session today. So let me share my screen. We will get started by invoking the blessings of God and Guru, like we always do. Today is Kahoot day. So you may want to bring in your second device. Keep it ready. After the prayers, we'll get started. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Radhe Radhe, good morning, good evening, everyone. Let me share my screen once again. I think I need to share my desktop today so that, yeah, now it should be better. Okay, great. So very warm welcome to all of you. So today is Kahoot day. Hope you are ready with your two devices. So we are going to test out the knowledge. Are you able to see the screen? Kahoot screen?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So let me...
You might want to make it full screen. Yeah.
Yes, I will make it full screen. So this is your screen. I would encourage we should break the 50 record today of participants who will play. So the game pin is right on your screen, 7681025. You need to type in www.kahoot.it and this is your game pin. And our quiz master is ready with his questions. So it's going to be a very fun and engaging quiz today. We have increased the number of questions for the day so that we can make it a little more competitive. All right, good. I think participants are still joining in, so we can give some time, maybe first 5-6 minutes for everybody to join in before we start our game. And we'll take this opportunity to make the announcements for the day. A couple of announcements I'll make and rest I'll let our co-host make. One of the key announcements is that we have the retreat coming up, September 3rd to September 5th. So please come over. Do not miss out on this immersive experience that we are going to have. If you enjoy the spiritual discourses by Swamiji, retreat is like a injection, concentrated dose that you would really love. So please come over. And the good part about this retreat is that we are going to celebrate Janmashtami as well. So it is coinciding with that. So you will have double fun, spiritual bliss to enjoy. One is for the retreat, other for the Janmashtami. So please sign up for that. So that was the key announcement I wanted to make. I'll remind again. Any other announcements that we want to make while everybody's joining in?
Yes, there are a couple of announcements, Nitinji. So one of the first announcements is about Swamiji's ongoing LTP program. So right now he is in Houston and the program will be up to August 18th. And then from there to Chicago, where he will be there from August 19th to August 25th. And if for people who are in and around Dallas, and if they are thinking on a Friday, we don't have the daily wisdom from Bhagavad Gita class. Now we have Friday Bhajan Sandhya at RKT. So you might want to check that out. It is a new, I think.
Yes,
new, yeah.
So it is going to be the new program, and basically it will put a vessels to everybody's Friday fun that they used to have. Now they will do satsang and bhajan sandhya on Fridays as well.
So, and if Friday is not enough, then on Saturday we have Mata Ki Chauki at RKT.
I can't believe my luck. And if Saturday is also not enough, we have Sunday satsang as well. Okay. And if by chance you miss that, then we have Sunday Bhagavad Gita session as well. It's like there is no dearth of spiritual options that you have at your disposal right now. Sky's the limit. All right, so let's see if we can break our record. We have how many parties? 24. See, another 25 to go, and we'll break the record of maximum number of participation ever in the history of any session. Okay, I don't know if somebody has participated 50 of them at one shot. So let's go for that. We have 50 people. We can do that. I mean, if it's 49, I'll also play. Okay, so let's make it 50.
Yeah, the link for Kahoot is there in the chat. You have somebody struggling to join it, and the
Yes.
pin is there on the screen.
Let's give some time. We have time. I think we have participants still joining in. So we'll give another 3-4 minutes before we get started.
There are two more announcements, Nitinji, if I can make those
Yes,
also.
please do. Please do.
Because Nitinji only talked about this Dallas retreat, but after that, right after that, I think from September 6 to 10, we have Janmashtami Mahotsav. So please feel free to save the dates and mark your calendar for that. And if that is also not enough, then on November, I think in November we have the one of the biggest Diwali Mela in DFW metropolitan area. So all those announcements and those links will be shared in the chat later, but do check those out and mark your calendars. Yeah, thank you.
Diwali Mela is going to be huge this time around. Our kitty has been interested to do that. So you can imagine how big it's going to get this time around. Yes, Sandhya, you want to announce something?
Just wanted to specify this, that Janmashtami celebrations will also be with Swamiji. So people here in Dallas do not want to miss out on that.
Yes. How often you get an opportunity to celebrate Janmashtami with Swamiji. So let's make the most of this opportunity.
Some of the key highlights of Janmashtami, if I can speak, Krishna Jhulan, then you have Dahi Handi, fancy dress competition for children, and much more. We will not.
And we have a very, very, very special Leela, which will involve faces that you get to see regularly. So yeah, Krishna Leela. That's another exciting highlight.
Marquee event. Okay, so look forward to that. Nothing of that magnitude has taken place at Dallas ever. So it is going to set some history. Okay, so be a part of witnessing the history this time in the Krishna Leela. No pressure to anybody, but we are all looking forward to it. All right, so we have 30 participants. That's pretty amazing. We'll give 2 more minutes and then we'll get started. I see not many have joined today yet. So we'll give about a couple of minutes and then we'll get started regardless of how many. I was hoping we can get close to 50 today, but we'll see. Any other announcements around it? Shyamji is about to join now. Shyamji, you have to play the game as well.
Nitinji, why don't you join us in Kahoot?
That's the point. I have prepared the quiz, so I will know the questions, right? And then it will become unfair.
You'll get the feel of it. You have never played. You are just
one of the days when we are adding a few more quiz masters to help out our original quiz master Rahul. And one of the days I'm going to just play. I'm not going to look at the questions. So just to test my own memory. The why participants are reducing? We had 30, now we have 26. Something is not right. Please join back if you have changed your mind thinking I'm going to play as well. I'm not okay. Please join back. Pallavichi has joined, very nice. So okay, we are 30. We'll give another minute and then we'll get started. Let's make it 40 at least. Regardless, we'll get started. All right, 30, it's stuck at 30. 32, there you go. Yes, Pallaviji, you had a question?
Yeah, Radhe Radhe, Nitinji.
Radhe Radhe.
So I have noticed if someone has logged in, still that window is not active, that Kahoot window, then it removes you from there. So even though 30 people must have already logged in, it didn't reduce. It's like if they are not on that active kahoot.it, it would not show up here.
Okay, so we'll see how many are actually there in the Kahoot then.
Hmm.
Okay, so the countdown then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. That's it. I think Nandi and HP need 35 people. That's pretty amazing. So let's get started. All the best to all the participants. Let's get underway today. All right, let's get started with the quiz. Game on. 2, 1, go. True or false, celestial gods get the ability to bestow boons by the power of God? I mean, it's a very difficult question to start off with. Ivan is also playing. Very nice. Shanji, good to see you. You got to play. "34." Somebody said false. I don't know, it was time pressure or what, but majority of you got it right, and which is very reassuring. That means you are paying very close attention. So let's quickly do a recap of this concept. Yes, you are right. So celestial gods basically are like Indradev, Vayudev, Varundev. Indradev is the king of the celestial abode, and they are devatas are the charge of they are in charge of the administration of the universe, and God basically gets his job accomplished through these devatas, and they derive their power basically from God himself. So celestial gods, they give boons only by the powers bestowed upon them by Supreme Lord. So powerhouse is called for them, and people who understand this truth, they directly go to God. And people who are interested only in material boons, they go to devatas. So this is the key concept. Majority of you got it right, which is outstanding. So let's move on to the next question. It was an easy question to start off with. Shailaja ji, amazing, followed by Sandhya, very close. That was like photo finish. iPhone, Ramaji, and Radhesham. It's like very close photo finish. By the way, today we are going to show the report for all the 35 of you. Okay, I've figured that out. So make sure you are not top from the bottom at least. Okay, but even if it happens, that's fine, because spirit of playing is more important than the actual score. But we'll display the entire report today. Okay, because that was the popular demand. So let's move on to the next question. It's a multi-select and it's a double pointer too. Identify the ones which are not one of the Panchashaktis. One is totally confused. Kavita is the most nervous of the all participants today. Too much of performance pressure. All right, the answer is Kuber and Varun, because Vishnu and Ganesh are part of the Panchashaktis. So let's quickly look at the concept. Who are the Panchashaktis, basically, which are the veritable form of God himself. So expansions. So these are Ganesh, Narayan, the Surya Devata, Shankar Bhagavan, and Devi Ma. Okay. So they are the Panchashaktis. Kuber and Varun, they are not. So let's see what happens after this one. Who all got it right and who all got it more right than others. Okay, HP. Sandhya is at second. Arjun has come up. Arjun, very nice. iPhone is at, and then Saiji has made his entry, and DV is the highest climber. Very nice. All right, the race is heating up. Let's move on to the next question now. A lot of competition today. I can clearly see that. Okay. Identify the bhav of devotee towards God as depicted in the picture. You have to make a big guess right now. So, what happened? It's not going to tell the score. Something happened. Okay, it is going to. It is probably taking time. Okay, so that is true. It is it's not Madhurya Bhav. It is not success. Thus, it's a Vatsalya Bhav because Yashoda Maya is holding Krishna. So it is a parental affection, that Bhav, which is displayed here. So let's see what happens after this one. iPhone is on fire and displaced Sandhya. HP is rock solid. Sai Ji and Sheetal Ji has made it to the top 5, and Gyoji GYO has the highest answer streak of 3. Awesome. I think this today is very competitive. So race is heating up. Let's move on to the next one. The fourth question. It's a double pointer, guys. One breath of Mahavishnu equals. Now the fun is going to begin. Slider has come. Numbers matter. It's a big breath. There you go. 100 years of Brahmaji is actually one breath of Mahavishnu. A huge breath, right? Why somebody's muting me? Okay, it's not me. So let's look at that concept, just to recap it. This is the breath that will take your breath away. It is said that life is not about how many moments of breath you take. Life is about how many moments take your breath away. Now, this is one of those moments that is going to take your breath away. Looking at one breath of Mahavishnu. So these are the 4 yugas, right? And 4 yugas combined are called Mahayug. 71 Mahayug, when you multiply it, which is called one Manvantar, you multiply it by 14, it becomes 1 day of Brahma. Brahmaji has a long day, and then 100 years of Brahma is actually one breath of Mahavishnu. So let's see who got it right and who got it right the fastest. Okay, this was... Okay, nothing much has changed. I think either all the leaders got it wrong or they all got it right in the same time. Radha Krishna is the highest climber. So this question, Radha Krishna has made good strides. So well done. Let's move on to the next question now. It's going great. What's going on? Let's move on. 5th question. Which aspect of God's personality is least sweet of all? Aspect, there are only 2 aspects. Okay, don't get confused by the third, or there might be a red herring. You can correct it, you have time. This became a very tricky question. None of the above. So this aspect of God, basically, there are only 2 aspects, if you remember. Which are the 2 aspects we spoke about, Aishwarya and the Madhurya. Between these 2, Aishwarya is insipid in front of Madhurya. But let's see what difference does it make. So we spoke about this concept. And I'm not going to get, I think it's going to reveal the answer for the next question. Okay, so let's see the scoreboard. Sai, Arjun is there, Manjuji is climbing up, Sheetalji is climbing fast, Sai and HP is rock solid. Who's HP? Okay, we'll get to know. Okay, so let's move on to our next question. It's a double pointer. How many bhavs can we practice with God? 2, 3, 4, 5. Very simple. All right, split verdict between 4 and 5. It's pretty close. So let's look at the answer. So we spoke about this, that sweet bhav is, see, we talk about bhavs, right? So the ras that we talk about, when we keep the Aishwarya Chintan off, that's when we get the ras. And we have to minus the Aishwarya Chintan. It's like garnishing. You got a milk and rasmalai and all those varieties. However, when it comes to bhavs, these are the bhavs you can practice with God. And what are those bhavs? 5 bhavs. Madhurya bhav, Shant bhav, Dasya bhav, Sakha bhav, Vatsalya bhav, and Madhurya bhav. 5 bhavs. Okay, these are the 5 bhavs you can practice with God. So let's see who got it right, or who got it right the fastest. Okay, HP is like playing well. Sai, Arjun, iPhone, and Sandhya is back in reckoning. And combo breaker is 5 players dropped from their answer streak of 5. Okay, I think it's pretty interesting. It's anybody's game right now in the last few questions. Let's move on to our next question. Which participant do you think wants to compete with Nandi for Lord's attention? Okay, it's not a graded one, so don't worry about it. Let's see who's been paying attention to what's happening in the sessions. Somebody wants to give Nandi a run for its money. I don't know why, but we'll leave it to the participants to guess it. Okay, it's not a graded question, but you never know. You may get bonus marks if you get it right. Lord Rama, Sakhi, Karthikeyan, Laddu, Bringi, Seema. Who's this Seema? And why is it overwhelming favorite? And second one with the baby in lap. So most of the people got it right. Okay. Got it right or wrong? I don't know. I mean, does anybody want to chime about it? I don't know what's the right answer for that, but people made a guess. And I think, yes, Sandhya, you wanted to say something? Anybody wants to come forward and say it was me? Go ahead.
Then Seema should raise hand, no? If anybody wants to.
Who's the girl, one with baby in lap? Okay.
Yeah, it was me, and you know it.
Oh, it was
Every-
you. Yeah? Oh, thank you for letting me know. I was wondering, who could it be? So that's why I put it as a question. So
Thank
thank you
you
for letting me know.
Yeah, I loved it. Thank you.
She wanted to talk to Nandi. Okay, that was very sweet of you. So let's move on. It was not a graded question. Let material happiness dash but does not dash. It's an easy one, hopefully. Okay, so it's a bit of a split verdict, but majority of you got it right. So let's go back to the concept. So yes, material happiness gives you material world, it gives you thrill, but it never fulfills. So that is the concept we had spoken about. There's a difference between getting a thrill and getting a fulfillment. The right sequence is thrill, but not fulfilled. So let's see who got it right the fastest. HP, whoever is HP is playing amazing. Sai, Arjun are doing good. iPhone is playing well too. Tiger is doing good too. And 3 players, they hit an answer streak of 7, which is amazing. There might be a very difficult question or a double pointer coming. I don't know. I have a feeling, or it may not be the case. Let's see what happens. But great going. All right. Okay, you need to read the question and then answer. Okay, no pressure at all. That's the next one. It's a multi-select and it's a double pointer. What is our true about the caste system below? We spoke about the caste system. All right, so 3 of them were correct. 1 of them was not. 6 of you said based on birth. And then quite a few went with other 3 options. All 3 options are correct, but you have to get everything right. So let's look at the concept that we had spoken about. So the Vedas, they classify into 4 categories. We have spoken about this concept in great detail. This is not according to their birth, but according to their virtues or their nature. Now, this classification was not meant to be according to birth, nor was it unchangeable. You can change it. Okay, you could be born as per a particular category, but you can always change that based on the kind of activities you get involved in and the kind of nature you work towards. Okay. And these are just varieties in the occupations. Every country, every place, every system, every company has that. Okay, it's only the Sanatan Dharma which is vilified, but every place you have these kind of hierarchies, and that is a natural order. And in this particular thing, what it says is it's based on people's qualities and activities, and it is something changeable. So these 3 options were right. According to birth was not right. Okay, which is how it is popularly or commonly known as caste system. If I'm born in a particular family, I belong to that caste. Doesn't work that way. And in Kali Yuga, almost everybody is either a Vaishya or a Shudra. Okay, this is how it works. So with that said, let's go back and see what's going on with our scoreboard with this question. After this question, who are the leaders here? No. Okay, there's another question. Which chapter of Bhagavad Gita, name of the chapter, does the below picture illustrate? Okay, it's a Pictionary question. It's not a graded question, but let's see how much your imagination can take flight and how you can map it to the Bhagavad Gita chapter. You need to know the precise name. You can spare your names. Okay, it's not a graded question. Shanji, you are having a poker face. It's like playing poker. No expressions. Jyoti is like her life depends on this question. All right. Karma 2, chapter 1, Karam Yog, Arjun Vishad. Karam Yog. No, it's Arjun actually. Some of you got it right. It's Arjun Vishad. He was up basically, was in a deep sorrow and Yog. So the first chapter is also known as Arjun Vishad Yog, where he's lamenting about his situation and seeking guidance from Lord Krishna. So that was a Pictionary question just to add some variety to the questions today. Now is the moment of truth. Okay. So what I'm going to do is we will see the podium finish and then we will see the complete scorecard today as well. Okay. And invite over people to share their experience around it and if they what they have to say. So, but let's look at the podium finish first, and then we'll get to the complete report today so that you can see how well you have fared today. Okay, and I'll be interested to see who's 35th today. Let's see. All right, the second runner-up is iPhone. Second one is Sai, and first one is HP, I believe. HP. All right, so congratulations. Sandhya is the fourth one, and Arjun has got the top 5 finish, which is outstanding. Now, let me go to, give me a sec. What I'll do is, let's go to the summary, not summary, the complete report. Okay, let me show, give me a view full report. Okay, now let's look at the full report today. I'll call upon the winners with the podium finish and also the others who have showed up in top 10, I would say, well done. Top 15 also well done. Top 20 also well done. Okay. And the last 5, they were competing between 25 to 35. Okay. So well done too. Give me a sec. Let me go to the reports.
And we have a name for HPG also. Maybe we'll reveal it right at the end. Yeah. So
sure. Sure. Let me download the report and then open it as well.
In the meanwhile, SSPG had shared in the chat Arjun Vishad Yoga. I think he may not have been able to play.
Okay, no, well done. SSPG is very true. It is Arjun Vishad Yoga, and you got it perfectly right. Are you able to see the Excel or not yet?
yeah, we are able to see that, but
yeah,
we need to maximize it. Yeah.
I'm going to take care of the final scores. Here you go. So HPG is number 1. Are you able to see the complete report now?
Can you zoom more, Nitinji?
Yeah, let me do that. Let me
make it full zoom.
Yeah, give me a sec. Okay, give me a sec to work out zoom. Let me zoom it. Are you able to see now?
Yes. It will zoom out. Yeah.
Okay. So HPG is number 1, HP, whoever that. Now it was a pretty close race, 11725 points, 11,442 points. Sai was second, iPhone, 4th was Sandhya, Arjun. Then 6th is Manjuji, pretty close. 7th is Tigers, 8th is KM, 9th is 10th is Ramaji, 11th is Sheetalji, Tarunji, Shubhji, Parth, SB, Pallaviji, SRT, Hope, JGT, Kavita, you are 20th. Okay, we got to know now if you're playing with your own name. Nandi is 21, Chakradhar is 22, Payalji is 23, Shailaja is 24, Radhe Sham 25, Happy 26, Devi 27, Radhe Radhe, Koman, Radha Krishna, LP, P, Rupaji, you are second runner-up from bottom. CB, Neelamji is 35th. I know who Neelamji is. Ramji is 36. Oh, she's 37, 38, 39. Suryaji. I think a lot of people joined later, which is fine. And SUG, I think well played because I think you joined late. So now you can see your rankings. It's good you are playing actually. So the spirit is to play and I won't read too much into the ranking, but there's always something we can do about it, right? So this is the complete report in case you want to know about that. But I would like to invite over our top 3 players, who is iPhone, Sai and HP. If you want to come forward and talk about it, how was your experience? We'd love to hear from you. And anybody else for that matter, not limited to our top 5. Okay. If you want to come over and talk about your experience, please come forward. iPhone, you want to come forward? I mean, if you don't want to, we can understand. Sai Ji, Uh-huh.
HPG messaged me, and it is Harsh Pathak. I'm not sure if he wants to come
Harsh
on this thing,
Pathak.
but
Yeah, Harsh, please go ahead. We'd love to see you. You were the dark horse today, Harsh. We'd love to know more about you. Really well played.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe Nitinji, Radhe Radhe everyone.
Radhe Radhe,
So
Harsh.
actually I'm actually in the office right now. So I mean during this time from 7:30 to 8, I just commute to office from the cab. So I thought why not utilize this time.
Wonderful.
And actually, yeah, I've been attending your classes since the last 1 week more consistently. And I used to attend it earlier as well, but it was not very consistent because the time sort of clashes with my commute hours.
Okay.
And but I like time and time I sort of used to watch your YouTube videos as well whenever I got time, let's say on weekends or something. So this time I thought that why not attend it consistently. So yeah.
Harsh, good to know that. And that was a very pleasant surprise and really well played. Where are you joining us from and what do you do?
I'm joining from Bangalore and I'm a software engineer. So yeah.
Okay, we are cut from the same cloth. Okay, I worked in Bangalore for a while, Electronic City. I used to work. Where do you work?
I work at an investment bank. So it's Goldman Sachs. So yeah.
Goldman Sachs. I'm at Charles Schwab. Okay, you are our competitor. So, but yeah, well played, Harsh. And we'd love to hear more from you. And really well played. I must say that you were rock solid. Nobody could shake you once you claimed the pole position. So keep it up.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Thank you, Nitinji. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Yes, Sai Ramji, you are second, I guess, today. Well played, Sai Ramji. You are pretty consistent player as well. You want to say something, Sai Ramji?
Yeah, I mean, I got lucky, I think, this time. Last few times I was the topper from bottom.
No, you played well.
So,
I
you know,
must say,
all the grace of God, who knows? Yeah, and Guru.
you played well. You are a very consistent performer. I can see that. So really well played, Sai Ramji.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe
Very
Radhe.
nice.
Very nice. So thank you, Rahul, for preparing it. And we will have, we'll spice it up more as we go along. Okay, we are just getting into a rhythm right now. Tarunji, you played well as well. You missed the top 10 position just by 1 rank. Okay, the scores were very, very close. So really well played, by the way. Anybody else who wants to share? Yes, Monica ji, you wanted to share some experience about the game. And Arjun, by the way, Arjun did well. Was it the top 5? Is it?
So that Arjun was different. My Arjun was Parth.
Oh, it was Parth. But Parth did well as well. I think Parth was in top. Let me check.
14th.
Parth
So
is 14th, right? So yeah, that is a good number because Lord Ram, he went to exile for 14 years only.
14 years. I think Anku will also send me. He was telling me, मैं रोज तुझे 1.5 घंटा देता हूँ तू top में भी नहीं आ रही है. He was listening to questions. So that's one good, very good part. And
No,
then
yeah.
the technical questions got me, Nitin ji. मतलब भक्ति में logic and technicality नहीं होती है ना, तो technical मत आने दो. Brahma ji's and Vishnu ji's breaths always take my breath away.
I know one of those questions always comes up, but yeah, see, participation is more important. And one of the quizzes will just make it like, we'll leave aside the technical part and just get into philosophy only. So we'll do that as well.
And
Vikas?
the best part is, we got Krita. She's always excited. Oh, I know this. I know that 20th place.
No, well played. And Sheetal ji, you are playing well as well. Until I think a couple of questions probably undid you. I think you were doing well to begin with. Yes, Sandhya, you wanted to add something as well? And Vikash, what's going on? You are preparing for IES and this should be a piece of cake for you.
I wanted to say just 2 things. I think Arjun this time was Prabhat Bhaiya. And second thing, I thank you for having more than 5 questions, because even if we made mistake, there was a chance for us to still keep on trying and make up on those mistakes. So that's very, very useful. That's it.
We will continue to keep it a 10 question quiz going forward. And I will add a topic as well, because like we finished it early today, but I was hoping it will go for an hour, but we can always have a discussion about any of the questions that anybody has. But yeah, it'll always be a 10 question quiz, maybe a couple of questions additional thrown in here and there. Okay. So look out for more variety as we go along. We'll make this quiz more exciting. Yes, Shashiji, you wanted to add something?
Radhe Shashiji.
Radhe Nitinji. Sorry, I did not know today's Kahoot and I joined it little late and I couldn't, participate, but I got all the answers right and I was very happy with the way the questions were put it in, and keep it up this way. So don't make it too tricky. So that way we can answer it. So I actually got it all right though.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yes.
Thank you, Shashiji. And I'm glad you could participate even though you joined in late. For everybody, it's going to be every Thursday. So join on time so that you can settle down with Zoom and everything, and you'll get more comfortable with Zoom. But we will keep it on schedule every Thursday, the quiz time. And last Thursday, photo time. And every Sunday, seva time. Okay.
Yeah, try to keep it simple like today you did it. Don't make it too tricky.
Okay, sure. We'll do that. 1 or 2 questions, I think you can make us an allowance. Okay.
Yeah, that's okay. But I liked it today's questions. I knew it all. I felt so bad I couldn't play today.
No worries. So next time, please join it at 9 o'clock sharp. That will give you more time to settle down, because it's always going to be a Kahoot day, Thursday. You can just...
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you, Shashiji. Yes, I see Sheetal ji. Let's hear from her because I think she did well. She was doing, and Vikash, then we'll come back to you. Yes, Sheetal ji, wanted to say something?
Yes, Narayan, good morning. Actually, this quiz is really very good because through this, I got to know what all I absorbed throughout the week in your session and what I need to revisit again. It helped a lot. And yes, some questions were tricky because I didn't know. Maybe I joined only for last 2-3 weeks only. So some questions were not familiar. But yes, I will try to absorb more and come back in top position next time. Thank you so much.
That's the spirit. See, we will all become Gita Pandits, at least theoretically. That much I can assure you if you continue doing these sessions. And then it's just a matter of doing practical, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. People who attend it regularly will have an advantage because we may throw in some question that was part of the discussion during the sessions itself. So please make it a priority to attend all the sessions. Thank you for sharing your experience, Sheetalji. Yes, Vikash, go ahead. I was hoping to see you in at least top 5, Vikash. What happened today?
I recently I came from gym, so sorry, sir. Okay. Recently I came from the gym.
Okay. No worries. Next time you can come from gym a little early, settle down.
Yeah. I will try my best. Okay.
All right.
So today is the exam or what?
Yeah. Today you had an exam.
On what?
The knowledge, whatever we have discussed over the last week or so. Today was the quiz, and Thursday, every Friday morning you will have that quiz.
मैं top कर गया होता यार, sorry यार. Shit.
That's okay. That's okay. All right, Lakshmi ji, please go ahead.
Nitinji, I got 9 corrects today, but I got disconnected once I changed my this thing. When you're showing the answers and explaining, I shifted to your screen, but I got disconnected from the Kahoot.
No worries.
So, but I'm happy I could do 9 correct today.
Very nice.
Thank you, Radhe.
Very nice. Thank you, Lakshmi ji, for the participation. And yes, Prabhat, you played well, really well. Arjun, as an Arjun, you played well today. And I like your new look.
Thank you, Nitinji. And it's really very engaging, and it also helps in revision also. Like whenever we used to, give answer for these particular question, it also gives us opportunity to revise the knowledge that we receive from you. And the Excel you have shared is also very helpful because sometimes we don't know that how many questions we answered correct and like where we left behind. So in this particular Excel we can see everything, like how many questions we answered right, and everything is there. So thank you, and please continue giving 10 questions at least, so that we will get opportunity to answer more questions.
Sure. And if you want, I can put this Excel on the portal as well, okay, for everybody to look at Hall of Fame. Okay, cool. And if you want, I can put it on CIC group as well. So that way you would know your scores as well. All right. Yes, Arnima, how did Nivan fare, or both of you fare?
We were 7th, but we missed that Yashoda Maya image was coming slowly. So I don't know, it was meant to be like that, or it was meant to be.
Yeah, it was meant to be like that, because people who get it quickly. You were Tigers, huh? Were you Tigers?
Yes.
Played well as Tigers.
Yeah, we missed one multi-select.
Okay. Cool. No, that was good actually. That was pretty good. Yeah, Yashoda, yeah, that's how it's meant to come. Whoever can guess it the fastest will get the credit, right? So good, well played. Yes, Manjuji, you wanted to share something as well? You were 6th, by the way. Really well played, Manjuji.
Radhe Radhe Nitinji, Sandhyaji, and Rahulji. The quiz is really very interesting and it is revising. It was bringing back us all your whatever you have taught us all these days. It was refreshing your mind. And you have kept 10 questions this time. That was really nice. Like we were getting like more chance to win the points. I was actually coming in a good places, but I made a mistake in Bhava 4 or 5. Like Shanta Bhava, I was not getting remembered. Like, could you please?
You were at one point. I think you were 2nd or 3rd, right? I remember. I
came in the first 5. I don't remember the place, but it was good.
2nd or 3rd. I remember. Yeah, you were playing.
So
really.
Could you please explain on little bit Shanta Bhav? I could not recall that one.
Shanta Bhav is like when you have a object-subject relationship with God. Like God is my king and I am his subject, right? Like Ayodhyavasis, they would look upon Lord Ram as their king. So that is called Shanta Bhav, where you worship God from distance. So the Praja does not have access to king, right? They worship him like a king, that how big he is and how insignificant we are. So you don't have access to his palace or to his close aids at that point. That is called Shanta Bhav. So in Vaikunt, you worship God in Shanta Bhav. And beyond Shanta Bhav is Dasya Bhav, where you can enter his room, you can press his feet, yeah, right? You can carry out services for him. And beyond Dasya Bhav comes Sakha Bhav. Now you can put your arm around him, right? You can joke around with him, you can play with him. And beyond that comes Vatsalya Bhav. Now you can wield a stick on him as well. You can tie him with rope like Yashoda Maiya could do. More freedom. And then beyond that is Madhurya Bhav. So these are the 5 bhavs, which is like a beloved, where you have all the rights over God. So these are the 5 bhavs.
Thank you so much, Nitinji. And my daughter was sitting beside me, and whenever I was making late, she was she was getting like excited. Do first like that. Okay, thank you so
I know
much,
it can
Nitin.
get competitive, especially for the kids. Yeah, thank
It
you.
was nice actually.
Really well played. Thank you. All right, Wayne, how did you do? How did you fare today?
Well, I didn't participate because I don't know how to prepare for this. That was my question. What's the best way to prepare for this? Where's the information as far as studying for it, or is there any way to do that, or is this just knowing this really well?
Attend the sessions regularly, then you don't need to prepare actually. You just need to keep your ears open. You can close your eyes, but if you keep your eyes and ears both open, even better, okay? But other than that, you can catch up on videos or maybe read the commentary. But if you attend sessions, it's just a recap of what we have been talking about, nothing more than that.
What's the time period? Like a week or month or year?
It's usually a week, 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
2 weeks.
So all this information, okay. So all this information was covered over the last week.
A week or 2, not more than that.
Okay. That's very helpful. That's what I need to know. Thank you very much.
And if we get back more than that, it would be a very, very foundational question that you are expected to know by now, right? But typically we try to go to the concepts that we have covered over last week or 2, not more than that.
Okay. Well, Dhanyavad. Thank you very much.
No worries. Dhanyavad. Dhanyavad for saying Dhanyavad. Okay. Yes, Jyoti.
Radhe Radhe, Nitinji.
Radhe Radhe, Jyoti.
It was really fun, and I just did one mistake.
What was that mistake?
That question was Surya one.
That's the red herring, basically. I know it was a little tricky, right? At least so. Some people can say, Surya is least of Aishwarya and that, right? So yeah, I can get that. But yeah, you played well, I guess.
Yes, for the first time I reached 9, so that's why I raised it. Otherwise, I was so embarrassed. I was somewhere in the middle, somewhere around 20.
I think you played well. Joe, I can see that number 9 today. 9 is a good number. Well played, Jyoti. Wonderful. Yes, Rahul, you wanted to add something? Thank
There
you.
is a question from Mr. Yogesh ji, that the question about the less ras. He mentions that Nitinji mentioned that ras begins from Sakya Bhav, Vatsalya, and then Madhurya. So what about Shant and Dasya Bhav? Do they have any ras or not?
No, Dasya Bhav, they have, it starts from Shant Bhav, I said, okay. The ras starts from Shant Bhav. However, the Braj ras starts from Dasya Bhav. If you are specifically talking about Braj ras, it starts from Dasya Bhav because now you have proximity to God. You can be with God. In Shant Bhav, you cannot. So the Braj ras starts from the Dasya Bhav all the way up to Madhurya Bhav. And within Madhurya Bhav, there are different levels. Okay.
For the clarification.
Yeah. Yes, Sandhya.
So there is this comment from the third ranker, iPhone G. If you could also read the options after reading the question. For some people, they just hear apparently and not see in their screen. I don't know.
Not see on the screen what the questions?
Like they are just listening and based upon that, they want to quickly
Oh,
answer.
okay. So they are doing Shab Bhedvana. Okay, so I can read out the options also. I can read out the options also, but for some it might be distracting, but I can do that. Question as well as answers. I can do that. If that is what you're doing, and then sure, I can read out questions as well, options as well, if that helps. That's a good feedback. I'll do that.
Yeah, and I just had one question, which is in continuation with whatever was being discussed. So in Shant Bhav, we have Aishwarya, I think,
Aishwarya
feeling for
Chintan.
God, right? So, but there is some degree of sweetness there as well. Of course, much, much less than other bhavs, but it is. So when that question was asked, least, or I guess least of all, then that gets confusing. No, lesser than Madhurya, it's fine, but you know what I'm saying?
Out of those three, actually, there are only two, Aishwarya Chintan or Madhurya Chintan, right? If you go by philosophy, there are only two categories where Aishwarya Chintan of God or Madhurya Chintan. There's no third Chintan. So between those, I mean, yeah, I know it was a bit.
Okay, okay, got it.
Yes, Shyamji. How did you do, Shyamji, today? What was your name?
As always, I was there in the middle.
Okay.
मैं कभी ऊपर आ नहीं पाता आज तक क्योंकि मैं खेलता हूँ ना, क्या बोलते हैं, विद रिजल्ट. मुझे टॉप पे आना है, टॉप पे आना है, टॉप पे आना है. भगवान जी बोलते हैं बेटा चिंता मत कर.
SRT, SRT today?
आगे आएगा. Sorry?
Were you SRT today?
No, I was Radhe Shyam. I was in 25.
You were Radhe Shyam.
Okay. So I always play with Radhe Shyam. So I was there.
You
I'm happy the way
you should be happy because you are one spot above happy.
Yeah, see. Perfect. Now I get that in my perfect. No, I love the playing. I always play. And मैं कह रहा था कि जो लोग जीतते हैं टॉप 3 या बॉटम 3, उनके लिए हम कुछ देंगे इनाम इंसेंटिव कि वो डैलस आ सके बिना किसकी. तो अगर आप ये इंसेंटिव रख दो तो
think of doing that. We can think of doing that. In fact, I can think of giving away some stuff, people who continue to perform well, maybe some books or some freebies. Dallas ticket, I think, will come along with the visa, and visa we don't have control over embassy.
वीजा देखो, टिकट नहीं चाहिए किसी को भी. टिकट सब ले लेंगे अपने आप ही.
वीजा
दिक्कत वीजा की है ना, वो अगर आप कुछ अरेंजमेंट कर दो भगवान जी से बोल के, कृष्णा से बोल के, तो लोग इसको अभी जैसे I could see 60 people were there and 44 were participants. So number is going up and up. So if we have more incentive to play, मुझे भी मिल जाए कुछ incentive तो मैं भी शायद आ जाऊंगा आपके आसपास कहीं.
We can work out something. Okay, I think that's a good incentive to deepen our sadhana and figure out some kind of a thing, mystic abilities to get the visa sorted out pretty soon. So thank you, Shyamji.
These guys on a different note, but incentive, it was a serious note. If you can give some, like Swamiji's books as a token of once in a while, once in a month, or once in 2 months, something of that sort, so that more people come forward and play, and they play with the real names and come forward and tell them that this is what I was.
No, I think this
That's
is a
a
good.
thought. Yeah.
Sure, we can do that. I think it's a good idea. I can figure out and do that, something around that. Thank you, Shyamji, for that suggestion. Wonderful. So let's take a couple of more hands and then we can move towards our devotional segment. We have 4 more minutes. I didn't introduce a topic today. I thought I should do that, and then I thought, no, the quiz might take a lot of time, but probably we can get directly to the devotional segment today. But let's take a couple of hands I can see, then we can get to our devotional segment.
There is a question in the chat from Ladduji that what do we do in Shant Bhav? Like in Dasa Bhav, we serve God as servant. So is there any example of Shant Bhav?
I think we just remain shant in that. I don't know. So, see, it's like you worship him like a king, right? Like in Ayodhya, when Lord Ram went to exile, right? I think it was said that there was nobody died and no new birth took place as well at that time. That much devoted people were, that much devotion they had for Ram. Okay. They could hold back even their death. Nobody died and no new births took place during the 14-year period. So it's just like a feeling, I guess, I don't know, that he's your king and you revere your king, you know. And Ayodhya Vasis, they actually accompanied Lord Ram until he tricked them finally, right? He woke up in the middle of the night and just left off. Otherwise, Ayodhya Vasis would have gone along with him to Vanvas. You know, their life years were Ram at that point. That kind of sentiment they have for their king. So they revere him. Even though he's a king, it's a distant relationship, but the feeling that they have toward their king is very, very deep. So maybe that's how they worship Lord in Vaikunt. So Shant Bhav is also like God realization itself is a big prize. And within that, Shant Bhav is also a big achievement to have. So, but when it comes to other bhavs, of course, the proximity is not as close as God to God at that point, right? Very difficult to articulate or understand, right? In our materially conditioned state. But yeah, God realization is God realization, right? You are in God's abode and you can worship him like a God. So there must be a very high ras for that as well. In fact, if you look at what you call that Vaidhi Bhakti, rule-based Bhakti, the goal is Shant Bhav only. And in fact, Patanjali Yoga Sutra is actually worship in Shant Bhav only. So if you look at even in ISKCON and all, they say that you know, you have to reach the lotus feet of God in Vaikuntha Dham. So Vaikuntha is the goal. That is a big goal, right? But then the Brajaras is even more closer and sweeter to God. But getting that itself is a big deal. We can't articulate or understand, to be honest. Maybe once we reach there, then only we'll understand. So that's the best I could articulate. Yes, Sheetalji. Are you going to sing then? I think we are pretty close to 10 o'clock now. So maybe 1 or 2 questions. By the way, we are welcome to stay back for our devotional segment.
Yeah, no, not singing, just a question. I also got confused over those 2 questions about aspects and bhav. If we have only 2 aspects of God, like Aishwarya Chintan and Madhurya Chintan, then how come we have 5 different bhavs? Why not only 2 bhavs? If we have 5 bhavs, why not we have the 5 Chintan? In which way we can do the Chintan of God?
So basically,
So I got
yeah, broader level, if you had the session, there is an Aishwarya Chintan and then you leave the Aishwarya Chintan aside. You build a personal relationship with God. So that is broadly called a Madhurya Bhav, where you leave the Aishwarya Chintan. But I get it. It can get a little confusing. But if you have truly been attending sessions, you'll understand that is a broader term where you have either Aishwarya Chintan or minus Aishwarya Chintan. Once you have minus Aishwarya Chintan, then in personal form of God, you can build a relationship with him as a king or as a master servant, as a friend, as a mother, father, or as a beloved. So then those 5 bhavs come into picture once you have left his Aishwarya Chintan aside. But yeah, I know what can cause the confusion. So we'll be mindful of framing the questions so that this kind of confusion doesn't come. Thank you for that. Okay. Yes, Sandhya, any last questions, or are we getting into the devotional?
There are questions from the participants. So Yogesh ji is asking examples of Dasya Bhav in Braj. As you said, Braj Ras begins from Dasya.
Dasya Bhav in Braj, that's a good one actually. It is said basically the Brajara starts from Dasya Bhav onwards because you are in the close proximity. Now, I don't know who's basically Krishna's friends who served him as a Das in Dasya Bhav. I don't remember that as a kid basically. I don't remember, maybe there are examples that to be asked me. I mean, I might ask Swamiji, can Dasya Bhav in Braj, do we have a good example for that at all? Maybe the mother becomes Das at times, who knows, or gopis would become Das at times, because from Madhurya Bhav you can descend down to the lower bhavs, right? Maybe they played that role, even though we don't have a direct example for that. But Dasya Bhav, the best example that comes to mind, even though not in Braj, is Hanumanji. He's the Parikashtha of Dasya. Even Bharat Maharaj, right? When Lord Ram was in forest, he dug a pit for himself in Nandigram, so that he would lie down a level below his master. That is the level of Dasya Bhav. He would do that, and it's pretty kathur and very difficult to follow as well, right? Wherever the feet of your master are there, you can only put head there. Even Lakshman would not step on the same footsteps where Lord Ram was walking, so it's pretty difficult to discharge Dasya Bhav. But yeah, it's a good question. And Raj, who would do that? Maybe the mother, friend, or they would do that. They would descend down to that level when they would play with him or would serve him. But direct example, at least I can't think about right now.
And there's one more question from Manjuji. All bhavs are equal, right? And in all bhavs, a devotee can reach to God.
True. They're all post-God realization only, basically. You can practice your devotion in any of the bhavs, and that will enable God realization. It's not like in one bhav only. It could be in any bhav, right from Shant bhav all the way up to Madhurya bhav. In whatever bhav you do devotion, you will realize God. Madhurya bhav is the highest one though. The closest to God, so to say. Okay. Any more questions, or we are good to move to our devotional segment then?
Yeah, we have a couple of hands raised. I'm not sure if those are for the
Sure,
devotional
we can
segment.
do that. And please fill out the feedback tracker if you have any other feedback for the quiz or otherwise. If you want to include a topic, I think I would leave out a topic on this day. We can discuss this in more detail. 10 questions would typically take us about 40-45 minute mark. So we can just have a informal interaction after that. But if you have any other suggestions, please fill it out in the feedback tracker. Shanji has given me a thumbs up. So I think we are good.
So I think we have 4 hands raised. So probably those all are for the devotional segment.
Let's get started then.
Let's start with Monica ji.
Sure. Whoever our co-host calls.
Yeah. Radhe Radhe, Monica.
Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe, everybody. Radha Raman, Hari Govind Jai, Bole Re Man, Hare Krishna Hare, Radha Raman, Hari Govind Jai, Bole Re Man, Hare Krishna Hare. He mere giridhar, he Gopala, he mere giridhar, he Gopala, tu hi dukh dur kare. Hare Krishna Hare, Hare Krishna Hare, Hare Ram Hare, Hare Krishna Hare. अंधेरों में जलते दिए साचा तेरा नाम रे कान्हा, साचा तेरा नाम. चांदी सोने से भी खरा है एक मेरा घनश्याम जगत का, एक मेरा घनश्याम. आन पड़ी मैं द्वार खड़ी मैं, आन पड़ी मैं द्वार खड़ी मैं, तू ही दुख दूर करे। हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण हरे। राधे राधे।
Radhe Radhe, beautiful Monica ji. Which bhajan is this? You sang it really well. Is it I'm hearing it for the first time, but you sang it very soulfully.
It's Palak Muchal's song.
Very nicely sung. It was a difficult one. I could sense that, but you pulled it off very nicely. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you. Sandhya, you wanted to go next? Go ahead.
Can you see the screen?
Yes.
भजो वृंदा विपिन बिहारी रे, भजो श्री राधे राधे, भजो श्री राधे राधे, भजो श्री राधे भानु दुलारी रे, भजो श्री राधे भानु दुलारी रे। रटे राधे राधे गिरिधारी रे, ऐसी मेरी राधे, ऐसी मेरी राधे, ऐसी मेरी राधे भानु दुलारी रे, ऐसी मेरी राधे भानु दुलारी रे। हाँ हाँ खाए जाए बलि हारी रे, ऐसी मेरी राधे, ऐसी मेरी राधे, ऐसी मेरी राधे बरसाने वारी रे, ऐसी मेरी राधे बरसाने वारी रे। रटे प्यारे प्यारे राधा प्यारे रे, ऐसे मेरे प्यारे, ऐसे मेरे प्यारे, ऐसे मेरे प्यारे लीला बिहारी रे, ऐसे मेरे प्यारे लीला बिहारी रे। ओ रटे प्यारी प्यारे 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 रे, ऐसे प्यारे प्यारे, ओ ऐसे प्यारे प्यारे, ऐसे हैं कृपालु प्यारे प्यारी रे, ऐसे हैं कृपालु प्यारे प्यारी रे। भजो वृंदा विपिन बिहारी रे, भजो श्री राधे, ओ भजो श्री राधे, भजो श्री राधे भानु दुलारी रे, भजो श्री राधे भानु दुलारी रे। That's it.
Very
I
nice.
thought it was too fast.
No, it was beautiful bhajan. We should have done Radhe, right? When you give that pause and
I
say
actually wanted to ask someone, but I wasn't sure if on Zoom it will work out fine, so I
did
dropped
well
it.
by doing it all by yourself, right? So you doubled up yourself. Very nice, beautiful bhajan. Wonderful. So who is next now? Our co-host can call.
Heartbreaker 101G.
Who's that? Heartbreaker 101. Do you have a
Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
We can
Yeah,
hear
yeah. So it's a poem. कृष्णा की राह पर कृष्णा हुआ मजबूर, वरना कृष्ण हुआ कभी श्री राधे से दूर। जन्म देवी किसी से हुआ जसुमती गोद सुलाए, गवाल बाय के नेह की कीमत कौन चुकाए। कृष्ण भटकता आज भी पाया कभी न चैन, कर्तव्य के राह में सतत कर्म दिन रैन। युद्ध विवेशता थी मेरी, नहीं राज की आस, सत्य धर्म के मार्ग पे चलता शांति प्रयास। न राधा स्टाइल मुस्कुराते हुए, भक्तों के तुम भगवान मेरे ही आधीश, अब तो आंखों में बसो आओ मेरे ईश। सौतन बंसी आज भी अंधेरे पे इतराया, राधा जोगन सी बनी निधि वन ढूंढ जाए। देन कृष्ण स्टाइलिंग, नहीं बरसता है आज भी निवेदन की वो रास, राधे तुम को त्याग कर खुद भोगा वनवास। बिन राधे कान्हा नहीं, बिन राधे सब सून, बिन राधे शन शन लगे सुखे हुए प्रसून। बनवारी सबके हुए राधा कृष्ण के नाम, बिना राधा के आज भी कृष्ण रहे बेनाम। थैंक यू।
Very nice. Good job, Vikas. Short and sweet. Good. Keep up your research on all the beautiful poems that you bring in. So thank you for that. Manjuji, you wanted to go next, and then Prabhat. And then we wrap up our session. Yes, Manjuji.
Radhe Radhe to all. I'm singing a song on Ganesh Ji. भासु मधुर नयना प्रसादवा करुणिसु गजवदना ಚರಣದಾಸಿ ಕರಗಳ ಜೋಡಿಸಿ ಬೇಡುವೆ ನಮಿಸಿ ಆ ಬೇಡುವೆ ನಮಿಸಿ ಭಾಸು ಮಧುರ ನಯನ ಪ್ರಸಾದವ ಕರುಣಿಸು ಗಜವದನ ರಕ್ತವರ್ಣ ಚಂದನ ಲೇಪಿತನೇ ಭಕುತರ ಪೊರೆಯು ಲಂಬೋದರನೇ ಭಕ್ತರೊಡೆಯನೇ ಭಕ್ತರೊಡೆಯನೇ ಭಾಸು ಮಧುರ ನಯನ ಪ್ರಸಾದವ ಕರುಣಿಸು ಗಜವದನ ಮೂಷಿಕ ವಾಹನ ಮೋದಕ ಪ್ರಿಯ ಆಶಾವಾರಿಧಿ ಬಾಮಹನೀಯ ಶೇಷ ಶಯನ ಪ್ರಿಯ ಶೇಷ ಶಯನ ಪ್ರಿಯ ಭಾಸು ಮಧುರ ನಯನ ಪ್ರಸಾದವ ಕರುಣಿಸು ಗಜವದನ. ರಾಧೆ ರಾಧೆ.
Very nice, Manjuji. That was a very nice Ganesh Stuti. Very bhavfully sung. Thank you so much for that. With that, next is Prabhat. Please go ahead. And then maybe a couple of lines if I get time. Yes, go ahead.
Radhe. So I'm going to sing Mirabai Bhajan. मेरे तो गिरधर गोपाल दूसरों न कोई, मेरे तो गिरधर गोपाल दूसरों न कोई, जाके सिर मोर मुकुट, जाके सिर मोर मुकुट मेरो पति सोई, मेरे तो गिरधर गोपाल दूसरों न कोई, कोई कहे कारो, कोई कहे गोरो, कोई कहे कारो, कोई कहे गोरो, लीनो है अखियां को, मेरे तो गिरधर गोपाल दूसरों न कोई, कोई कहे हल को, कोई कहे भारो, कोई कहे हल को, कोई कहे भारो, लीनो है तराजू तोल, मेरे तो गिरधर गोपाल दूसरों न कोई। राधे राधे.
Radhe Prabhat, very nice. Picked up a Meera Bhajan. Usually Payalji is the one who picks it, so very well done. Good job. All right, so let me sing a couple of lines and then we can wrap up our session for the weekend, and then we meet again on Sunday night or Monday morning. So I'll sing a couple of lines. मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल, मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, Keshav Madhav Hari Hari Bol. Hari Hari Bol Bol 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 Hari Bol. Mukund Madhav Govind Bol. Keshav Madhav Hari Hari Bol. All right. So with that, we come to the end of today's session. Hope you enjoyed the Kahoot quiz, and bring in your friends and family. I think we'll make it more competitive as we go along. And I'm glad all of you are enjoying it. So Kahoot has made a good comeback, I must say that. Great. So thank you, everybody. Yes, Sandhya, you wanted to add something?
Just want to say thank you to you, especially for always concluding our devotional sessions with this Harinam Sankirtan. I just love it. Then you can continue in this zone. So thank you so much. Beautiful doing that.
To thank each one of you for making it such a high energy, vibrant program, which I can look forward to and feed off all the positive energy from each one of you. So thank you for turning up with full enthusiasm, turning on your videos, participating enthusiastically, and showing so much of enthusiasm. So thank you so much for that. Yes, Vikas, you wanted to say something? No raps today, okay?
No. So thank you, sir. I am feeling better from now. From the day I joined, I was not. I don't know much about it, but today I know about a lot of things, and I was feeling very good. And I am Radhe Radhe.
Thank you, Vikas. It's always good to see your smiling face. Please be regular in the classes.
So it was a gym session. So sorry. I'll go from tomorrow. I will attend.
Oh, more gym. Okay, mental gym is more important than physical gym. Okay, so Thursday you have to play quick.
So there, so also I used to play Radhe Radhe songs. So don't worry.
Okay, great. So thank you, everybody. Radhe Radhe. Have a good weekend, blessed weekend, and I'll see you on Monday morning, Sunday evening again. Okay. So Radhe Radhe. Good night, good day from my side. Bye.
Thank you, Nitinji. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you.